Everybody's talking about a bullish breakout. Okay.
I'm a ham. I've been on Jeopardy!
Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea. Hey. Good morning, everybody. My name is pianomattyb. That is Scaramucci's, and this is your morning TA. A brief glimpse into the crypto markets, where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing. All the humble opinion of this piano Zamboni bringing the data. The FOMO index has remained at 46 for the third day in a row. Bitcoin dominance is 49.2%. 24-hour volume is 30 billion. And the overall market cap is 1.07 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Well, it seems the market doesn't know what the market wants to do. It's up, it's down, it's bearish, it's bullish. And in the end, we got it all. But we talked about this, so it should have come as no surprise to anyone in this boutique community. Bitcoin price action. Well, she had a little pump.
Travel, skiing, and cuddling.
F. And I say, if the market opens green this morning, who knows, maybe the quant bots buy algos will break this local top at 26.8-ish, continue on to our next resistance level up at 27.2-ish, and Lord love a duck. She didn't do just that. After briefly tootsie dipping under the 20 moving average, the market opened green. In Bitcoin price action, booyakashad, peaking out at 27.4, then hovered in its own fear of success and dropped back down, finding a bottom and a bounce back at the 20 moving average, and is currently experiencing another little pump to a time of production 27.1, planting us above all three moving averages and heading towards the green part of our channel. My heartbreakingly optimistic outlook for today would be to see continued upside and maybe retest our channel resistance up at 27.8. Now over on the ding dong, we are approaching the headwinds of the 50 moving average. Now, failing to get up and above her may lead to a rejection down to some fibs. First being the 23.6% fib at 28.8, followed by the 38.2% fib at 26.5, and a rather decent support level down at the 50% fib at 26.2. But unless we can get up and over 27.8 and close a candle there, we're just making lower highs, and we want to make higher highs in order to put our bullish rally caps on. Quick look at the Wookiee. Sees we found a bottom and a bounce off our symmetrical triangle support line and are heading up to test the eye of the Death Cross storm at 27.8, a number that's making its third appearance on the dance floor this morning. And then onward to test the triangle resistance up at 28.3. Oh, snap. There's that number again. My bull trap dump theory, where we hit 28.3, see renewed bullish fervor and retail liquidity, only to dump down and fulfill Puppy Pants September's bearish omen, which averages a 7% loss historically, which would take us to 24K, which from 28.3 would be a 15% drop. But it's a theory from a piano player in a cabin behind the maple curtain. And tomorrow, well, it's the FOMC meeting, so grab your popcorn and buckle up. We could be in for a bumpy ride. Would you look at that, my friends? The sun's up. It's another beautiful day here on planet Earth, a day none of us are guaranteed. We're not guaranteed these days, but we're lucky enough to have them anyway, so get out there and knock them down. And remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected elites. That's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. And we'll be going live right away, so grab yourself a coffee and join me for a quick one. And sing it with me now. Around the banks of boom to spang, Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea. Hey, whoa, ching. Another beautiful day here. Planet Earth, a day none of us are guaranteed. We're not guaranteed these days. It's actually not that cold out this morning, opposed to most mornings in deep behind the maple curtain. I can actually wear this skinny little bunny hug and, not be so cold. Good morning, Christopher, XRP Ally, Sarah S. in California, Up Oily, David Sony Music, pianomattyb OG, Moxic Waste, Bobby Freeman, pianomattyb OG, I'm George, Mad Faded Baby, Damian Wins, Dan Lucia, Earth Scum, Wake Up Waverly, Bruce Mai, Cresp Roland, Misco, the pianomattyb OG, helping to build the channel. Much appreciated. Sneaky Pete Vape and Denny Kane in BC, also behind the maple curtain. Ralphie Dave Digital, Mark Stone, Mario Cantonese, Squeaky McGee, Flipper Frank, JP, and Bullish on Parade. What a day. What a day. The day before the FOMC meeting. Is it going to be another colossal nothing burger? Sneaky Pete, love that maple curtain. Yes. Abby Dewan, will you shift your setup once there is snow in Canada? Yeah, well, you know what, Abby? It comes fast here, so within a couple weeks, it'll be unbearably cold here, especially not like unbearably cold, but to sit here outside, I'd get the teeth chattering. And it wouldn't be comfortable. So I'm going to have to do something. It might have to be, just back down in the studio, which is fine. But, I don't know if Duke will be able to sing us out. I guess he will. Yeah. Moxic Waste, welcome to pianomattyb OGs. Thanks, Moxic Waste. Much appreciated. I know Duke is chomping at the bit. As you can see, he's put up all the Halloween ornaments or whatever it's called. He was up at 6:30 today, outside in his red Adidas suit, putting up ghosts and everything. It's a little early in my books. In fact, I wouldn't put up anything, whatever season is now. My sister Auntie Jinxie, she takes these opportunities every time the season changes to go to Winners and load up on fall attire, candles, ornaments, napkins, you name it. She's got a whole cart full of it. And then she sticks it in a box and she saves it for oh no, she doesn't. She doesn't save for next year. Next year she just buys another whole new box. So I don't know where the old stuff goes. Maybe she uses some, maybe some last longer than everything. So yesterday with the video, there was some volume issues and I immediately knee jerked and said it was my YouTube or whatever. In fact, it was user error / DaVinci. So I used DaVinci Resolve to edit. And for some reason, it just had ghosts in the audio. There was no reason for it. It would just, the volume was going down like as if someone had put the fader on. There was no reason for that. And so the thing about DaVinci is that once you work on it long enough, you understand that there's workarounds for everything. And the workaround for this was just to copy paste into a brand new timeline. I know that probably doesn't mean anything, but that's how we fixed it. And there was a lesson to be learned here. The lesson is no matter how comfortable you get with your own editing and your own kind of proofreading. See, I stopped the past little while due to time restrictions. I stopped doing a final one over, like watching it from start to finish. I stopped doing that because I got a little confident in the old editing skills. It's like, I didn't make any mistakes. I don't need to, proof my work here. It's good. It's good. It's good. And so now I got to go back to it. And now I got to go watch that anymore. And in a week or two, I will slowly not do that because that's what humans do. I'll probably go back to, the little, I usually do that. That's my last thing I do. I will go and find little, where there's breaks, where it looks like there should be a, and then I'll put that in. And that usually was my proofread for the day. Bruce Mai, is DaVinci reasonably easy to learn? I'm thinking about trying it. Yeah, if there was ever a program that was easy to learn. Now, I say that coming from Premiere Pro, which is maybe a step up in complexity, but maybe not. I mean, it's just more complex for a bunch of kind of silly reasons. So kind of stepping down into DaVinci, it was almost like they had made everything easier. Especially if you start from Premiere, everything is a little bit more intuitive and not as laborious. However, there are some things I don't like about DaVinci, like Fusion. Now, if you know DaVinci, you're probably agreeing with me. Fusion's not the greatest, but I mean, I don't work in Fusion that much because I don't need effects. Most of my effects are pre-made and they're assets. I keep in a little kind of folder and I bring them in when I need them. But when I need to make those assets, I'll still go to Premiere Pro just because masking is a little easier there opposed to Fusion, where I still don't understand how to mask on Fusion unless it's a simple green screen or like at the beginning of these videos, they have a magic mask, when it says, everybody is talking about that, blah, blah, blah. I'm not really sure where that voice comes from or what character I'm actually trying to portray. Sometimes I think it's a combination of Lionel Hutz, the lawyer from Simpson, and just a regular voice, But it's not really Lionel Hutz. It's a deviation from it. That is, I can use what's called magic mask. And so if you see this pen, I just draw a line around this on the screen and it will, what's called rotoscoping it in probably 15 seconds, which is unbelievably time saving for, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done that part of the video. Phil Hartman, yeah. Well, Lionel Hutz is Phil Hartman. So it is like Lionel Hutz meets kind of Phil Hartman, his radio voice type thing. Phil Hartman was my all-time favorite kind of,
to say he was an SNL actor and that's it kind of doesn't do him justice, because he was so much more than that. He was such a great voiceover, and everything he was in was just super funny. His voice, he actually took over. Who was the guys? They had a voiceover guy. You remember at the beginning of Saturday Night Live? Nora Dunn, John Lovitz, the Saturday Night Live band, G.E. Smith, that guy, Don Pardo. His name was Don Pardo. And Phil Hartman, and he used to do all the narration on all the skits that were kind of pre-made for Saturday Night Live. And then Phil Hartman had such a good voice that he kind of took over his job before his he went. And I never saw Phil Hartman once on news radio. Wake Up Waverly. Is his name Bill McNeil? It's weird because I was such a huge fan of him, but I never watched. Sitcoms. They're silly to me. I don't fully understand why anyone would watch them. That being said, I watched religiously Three's Company in the 80s after school. It came on at 4:30 or 5 or something, and all we did was watch it. Love Three's Company. But I haven't seen one sitcom probably since the 80s. I'm not trying to think, have I? The closest thing I ever came to watching a sitcom was Entourage, because it was like as fast as a sitcom, 22 minutes or something like that. It was a very fast show. But again, it wasn't on cable, so I would just steamroll through episodes whenever I could. Those were the days where I would actually download the videos and watch them. It was like pre-streaming or pre-pirating. Well, I was pirating them by downloading them. But that was about it. And after that, God, I just can't. I can't watch TV. I can't watch. Everything's too. Reality is far more fascinating than any TV or any movie or any type of fantasy or fiction people can come up with. We're sitting in the free world, the Western world, with the U.S. government having a debt surplus, or not surplus, a debt over $33 trillion. And it was just 31 trillion, I want to say a few months ago. So one of us being humans, the one thing we have in common is that we have a complete inability for the concept of exponential gains and time itself. So are we in the exponential parabolic run of a debt spiral out of control? 31 trillion. Like the concept of going from 1 trillion to 2 trillion, a doubling, is unbelievable. But when it gets up to 31 trillion and then you add 2 trillion, I know we've all seen those pictures of like, here is an airplane. This is $1 million. And then here is a hangar of airplane. This is $1 billion. And then they say, then this is $1 trillion. And it's like, America filled up with airplanes or whatever. So to think that it's at $33 trillion is just unfathomable. And as if it's ever going to get paid back. To who again? China? Who? I guess the world owns U.S. debt. But this leads me to my theory that the only way out is a controlled collapse and then a pseudo restart to get things back on whatever they want to do, whether it's a CBDC. I can't see them ever going to hard money, sound money. I can't, like, whether it's gold backed or Bitcoin. I don't think they'll do that because they're such corrupt psychopaths that they need the fiat regime. They need the ability to be the banker in Monopoly in order to win the game, because nothing would be passed through, such as wars. There'd be no war if we were down to sound money that had to be taxed from sound money. Like, let's say they asked the Gen Pop, "Oh, we're going to need to tax you to go give 6 Is it 600 billion or is it 6 billion? Or is it 10 billion? Whatever it is, it's astronomical to Ukraine. No, it'd be a hard no, right? But because they can print it, they can just do whatever they want. So to change into sound money would change the regime from completely corrupt to as non-corrupt as it can get. Now, I do believe Bitcoin will be a currency denominated kind of in freedom, if that makes any sense, but it'll be a parallel system. So we will have the two systems going on and on. So we'll have the extent of the free world and the fiat blood money regime trying to carry on. And there'll be enough people indebted to that regime. So the people on pensions, the people on the dole, the people coming into the country that are promised a UBI just from being here, that will all be on a CBDC fiat regime. But then the rest of the world will move on to Bitcoin and things will be priced in Bitcoin. That's my kind of heartbreakingly optimistic take on it. That's why I get these really weird Sunday night panics where it's like, I don't have enough Bitcoin. I don't have enough. I need more. How can I be sitting here with some dry powder and not put it into Bitcoin right now? I don't have enough. I need more. I need to get more. It's going to be too late. This runs through my head on a constant basis. It's actually hard sometimes to function because I'm always thinking, I don't have enough. I don't have. How do I get more? What do I got to do? Okay, how do I get this? Should I sell the rest of the gold? Should I put the rest of the gold? And why am I holding on to this gold? Is this a nostalgic throwback to, my initial voyage into financial autonomy and investing, and I'm not ready to let it go, but I should. What's the upside of gold? It's not going to be the upside of Bitcoin, that's for sure. I think I'm talking myself into selling my gold today again. In fact, God damn it, that's what I'm going to do. Sell the rest of it, put it into Bitcoin as fast as I can. Now, can it go down more? Of course. I do think it's going to hit 28.3 and come down. That's just a theory, though. It's just a theory. It doesn't mean it has to. So should you wait for the dip? No. When I sell this gold, I will be getting it on the on-ramp and then transferring it into USDC. And then I will be putting it into Bitcoin. Because at this point, I really don't care. When I start panicking like this, I don't care if it goes down to 15. I don't care if it goes down to 20. I don't care if it goes down to 24, which I think it will. I just care missing the boat when it's up at 100K and I'm sitting here with this dry powder that I didn't put in. It's like, what did I wait for? What did I wait for? A 10% drop? Is that what I was waiting for? Now it's up 60%. So not only did I miss the 10% drop, I missed a 60% gain from putting it into where I was. So this is where my mind goes. Can't imagine paying for things in fractions of BTC. Bruce Mai, Crest Barolin. Read The Creature from Jekyll Island. I've read The Creature from Jekyll Island. I always say it's the greatest horror story that's ever been written. It's The Creature from Jekyll Island. It's a tough read because it goes. It's as horrifying as it is. It's somewhat dry, especially if you're complete noob into any type of structure of the financial system, right? It goes into the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac for a long time. It's all important stuff, though. It all leads to the horror of the situation of The Creature from Jekyll Island. I do recommend it for everyone. What I usually do now is I have the audio book, and I will, when I wake up and say at midnight or something and I can't really get back to bed, I'll put that on. And because it's so dry, I'll refresh for about 10 minutes, but it'll inevitably put me back to sleep. And then it's playing in my head. And I like to think, You know, when you have that stuff playing in your head, you do retain some of it. I have this little contraption because I'm somewhat paranoid about Bluetooth headphones. So I got these old school headphones that they stick into there. That's an adapter. But then I wire them into my pillow that has a zipper, and I Velcroed them. So when I put my head back, I almost knocked it over. The pillow kind of squinches, and it becomes like just unbelievable headphones. And then if you go on your side, one is a good enough headphone. Anyway, that's how I listen to The Creature at Jekyll Island on a nightly basis. I also, when I'm not listening to that book, I like to listen to The Lucifer Principle. It's another horrific book, but it's so fascinating. If you ever get a chance to read it or buy the audiobook, it's called The Lucifer Principle. God, what's this wacky guy's name who wrote it? I found out about him because he was on a podcast from Joe Rogan years ago, and he was an old Jewish guy, and he used to be the manager for John Cougar Mellencamp and Michael Jackson, but he's really almost like a bizarre savant. And anyway, he wrote this book in 1998. God, what's his name? Someone can Google right now The Lucifer Principle and tell me what the author's name is. He has his own podcast too, his own little YouTube channel. It's very small for how smart he is. Anyway, another interesting part about this guy is that he had some sort of autoimmune system attack after he was successful, and he couldn't get out of bed for like 3 years. And he couldn't even move, and he wrote this book while he was kind of in this bed with this contraption that allowed him to write. Oh, there's Mango. Mango. Yeah, so The Lucifer Principle. Yeah, Cresp, you will not be disappointed with The Lucifer Principle. And just the fact that he wrote it in 1998 and the things that have happened since he wrote that is just, it's mind-boggling. So yeah, I go back and forth from The Lucifer Principle to The Creature at Jekyll Island, both horror stories. And The Lucifer Principle is kind of based on true stories too. Like he will reference historical situations and how it plays out into what he calls superorganisms. And so the human race, Howard Bloom, Misco. That's right. Howard Bloom is the guy. He's a fascinating character. Howard Bloom. Oh, that's such a relief now. I was like, I'm going to have to go downstairs and Google it as soon as this is over. Yes. National debt, 33 trillion. Housing starts came out yesterday, or was it today? 12% down. But not to worry, because Janet Yellen said that there doesn't seem to be an economic downturn. So as long as she says it, because she has to be the smartest of the smart people amongst the 1,000 PhDs.
At least a day off.
What's that? This is your day off?
Yeah, I'm not going to school.
What's this
today.
pin here you got here? I've never seen that anymore. I've seen that before. What is this pin? Oh, it's Adidas. Nice. Okay, buddy. Well, are you... Earth Scum, my boss keeps recommending Atlas Shrugged. Atlas Shrugged is also a must-read. It's a fascinating book, too. It's a little bit a tough one if you're a noob to financial structures, although it's more of it's kind of dressed through fiction. I listen to that every now and then, but it'll put me to sleep a little faster. I like another one of Ayn Rand's books. That's The Virtue of Selfishness. That one. It's amazing that some people can write these books. Like, it's like, what type of genius are these people that they can write down these ideas in such fascinating formats that it's so interesting. And then another one is like The Denial of Death. I like from Ernest. God, can't remember these. You know, there's I always find it amazing when people say they'll reference a book and say, "Oh, okay, Dick, are you bullish or bear?" Bullish, okay. Why is that? Because it's getting close to Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't you sing the good peeps out for us? Can you sing more into the mic?
Game. I want to go to school and I'm not gonna. I'm so happy.
You're probably going to, yeah. Okay, sing it
While
out.
playing the same game as our psychopaths collected elites. That's right, it's a long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. Oh, and the banks are boom to spank. Bitcoin, crypto, and tea. Hey, who's that guy in the corner?
That's Viddy Boo Boos.
Who's very good?
He came up with Ethereum with partners and whatnot. But he's a Canadian Russian. Anyway, take care, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow, FOMC meeting. Old Scotch in the Rocks, ching-a-ling-a-ling, Jerry Pow Pow. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Say bye, Duke.
Make sure you like and subscribe and share this